Well, hello everyone. This is Tripper, and today we are playing. We're not playing anything. We're playing a video, I guess.
Together tube. We're playing together tube.
Together too. We had to go through three other synchronized YouTube viewers to get to a point that we actually could use one. God, they're so gross. Anyway, I'm here
beautiful.
with waiting. I'm here with even grain. Sorry, I'm here with even grain. No. You're
You are
waiting
even
xylophone.
brain. I'm waiting xylophone.
I'm here with
yes.
waiting xylophone.
I
Yeah.
can't choose my name.
Yeah, and I'm here as Even Grain, and we're going to be watching the Mordhau gameplay trailer, giving you guys some cooperative, potentially debating feedback, commentary on the trailer, pausing it here and there, pulling it back, so you guys can sit back and relax and listen to what we have. Just listen to opinions, because I know you guys love opinions.
Exactly. No, they're here just to watch the video again. We shouldn't talk at all. We'll just play it for 2 minutes, and then we'll get a copyright strike from Mordhau and other people being like, "You're just using our content." Yeah.
That moment when Merox flags my video because it's using literally their gameplay.
No, together tube flags.
Yeah,
video,
it's perfect.
being like, we own the rights to this.
To our site. Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we can argue legalese all day. In fact, probably for years. But what the folks are here to see is this
Without
black
further
screen.
ado.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So Frosty's going to be the master of ceremonies. He's going to be pausing and playing the video as need be.
We just figured it'd be better to have a Canadian facilitate the stopping and going.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's just going to be it's going to be cooler that way. Wink, wink.
So
nudge, nudge.
Sorry, not to pause it already, not to
please,
not to do this already, but let's just go back. Let's just go back
Please.
a second here. And so we see on Unreal Engine 4, and just who has problems?
Yeah, I don't
with these graphics.
I don't see anything wrong with anything here. I wish you guys could see my cursor. These this is in a video, right? And
yes,
this castle has tessellation. This castle has battlements. And somehow they're recording this real-time gameplay footage. You know it's real-time gameplay footage because, as we'll see in a minute, people are fighting with the combat system.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if I'm gonna gripe about something, I will gripe about I think the only thing I can. If you look to the far right, center, the mountain is a little bit meh,
a little bit flat.
Lackluster. Yeah. Well, it looks a little bit like old Nintendo 64 style graphics, where instead of actually putting trees on the mountain, they just add green to make it look like there's shit on it. That's the only thing that's kind of I don't know, but not really.
Yeah.
I mean, everything else, the grass looks great. The depth of field is really good.
So good, and it's still pre-alpha. Still pre-alpha.
So that's the thing. The depth of field is amazing.
Grass is beautiful. And oh god, and the armor is just gorgeous, and the weapons and the decapitation.
Yes. Well, see, that's one thing that I do want to point out.
Please,
I was saying I'm really hoping that okay, so it looks like we have a fair mix of armor here. It seems like each side has the same access to armor, because you see that naked dude on the right. He's the dude that gets his head chopped off on the blue team. So they've straight up cloned the two teams and they're fighting each other.
Yeah.
But one thing that I'm happy to see is that the dude that's not wearing armor gets one shot.
Yeah, exactly.
As should be, right? But he's faster because he makes it. He's behind our guy.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's at the front of the engagement for the blue.
Because he's smart.
He just kind of sneaks up.
Yeah, and then he just gets decapitated. But yeah, it's really good. Giving. Oh god, pause it there because I need to. Oh
yeah.
But it's really good that they're showing diversity and that they're making it very clear what these various types of armor are going to do, and make it very clear that there's going to be versatility and diversity on the battlefields. That's really really nice. Really really nice.
Well, this is a better picture of what sort of stuff we can see. So the thing is, the first guy here is using
sort of
is that a Y?
The sword in the
weapon?
Guy. Which guy are you talking about?
It's kind of diagonal. The front guy, the Templar dude.
Oh, okay. You must be with the black helmet.
Yeah, maybe
Rewind
it's just
another second.
My graphics are all weird.
Rewind it another second, perhaps.
Yeah. No, it's a straight blade.
Yeah.
I misspoke.
Yeah. That seems to be some kind of sword of war, but I think you can actually put different, because you can change the blades on all the weapons. You can change all the weapons quite a bit. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, there's lots of versatility, and they're going to get to different weapon types later on too. So
Well, just in terms of armor, though, like this is a good example of all the different types of stuff we're gonna see,
so
right?
Pretty too.
Some of them have like the same sort of tabard stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we've got the guy in the front has the same tabard as the guy, you know, behind him about 5 feet.
Yeah.
Or 10 feet or whatever it is. Like they have the same tabard going on, but in terms of actual armor, it's different.
Yeah.
Like they have different gauntlets, things like that.
Yeah,
and then we have, it looks like in the back, maybe in the very far back behind our front guy here, we have somebody that potentially is repping some sort of like crude leather armor because it's not shiny.
I mean, it actually looks a bit like partisan. You mean the guy kind of wearing that cap? Not cap, but hood?
No, not him. I'm talking about straight up. He's like touching the back of the front man. You can't see his face. He's just sort of a blur. He's got this sort of bulbous armor on. It looks like he might be having some like, you know, some leather sort of style armor, but he doesn't look like a light class to me. You know, so I'm saying that it looks like you can have tons of different styles of, you know, armor depending on if, you know, because I don't even know if there are classes in this game. Like there probably is.
Yeah. As far as I know it's not class based. Based on the armor you're wearing. Did you play again?
Yep. Okay, based on the armor.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing. I was just gonna see if I could get a shot of the blue.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, you see that big guy down there in the back. Now that I look at it more, it's a little bit shiny.
Chainmail?
It looks potentially. Yeah. The guy without sleeves looks like he's wearing chainmail. The guy behind him maybe leather.
I think he's wearing chain. I think they're both wearing chainmail, from what I can tell. I don't know. Then we got blue. Oh gosh, you got to write it there. Nice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is pretty near, but there's still a good amount of variation here. Yeah, this is pretty nice.
I mean, we have some straight up clones, like
yeah, absolutely.
In terms of armor, which I don't know if that's something that they're intentionally going to do, because it would be nice if each of the sides had armor that like was kind of distinct to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you could sort of always tell, like without looking at the colors, who the Masons were and who the Agathians were.
Yeah, certainly.
That would be nice.
Absolutely.
Like something like that.
I feel like there might be parity. Should be parity. Yeah, we can continue on to the siege weapons now.
Yes.
Oh boy. I mean, we can just keep playing it at this point, to be honest, because up until
well, bam. I love that.
That's gorgeous. Oh, that's gorgeous. Now this bit, actually,
that's awesome.
The bit with the ladder. If you rewind it a couple seconds, the bit with the ladder reminded me of a meme I saw today, where Call of Duty, Battlefield does ladders very realistically. Call of Duty does them horribly. Counter-Strike has it where you can use your weapon while you're on the ladder. This is an incredible middle ground where you're realistically coming up the ladder, and right as you get to the top, you have use of your blade.
Yeah, which is awesome. Cool. I'm glad that you can defend yourself, because otherwise it would have to only be siege ladders and siege towers. Sorry, and siege towers are just like they're a clusterfuck, man. Yeah. And it's always like it's sort of this unstoppable thing, as where the defenders have the ability to have a solid choke point here if they play it smart. But I'm glad that you can defend yourself as a aggressor.
And for the competitive players watching this, this will almost certainly, if they keep this mechanic the way it is, or I'll have to see it obviously in gameplay, but if they keep this mechanic the way it is going to make it very, very balanced sieges. It's going to make, because if that mechanic was not in there, instantaneously sieges would be incredibly defender-sided. But with this, they're just slightly, because obviously any kind of assault is going to be defender-sided. But with this mechanic in place, it gives a little more leeway to the attackers.
Yeah, it gives a little bit more leeway for attackers. It makes it more valid, like, because the thing is, we only see one ladder here right now, obviously, but you can see that wall stretches on for quite a bit. So I'm assuming them wanting this to be a 64 player, just in terms of pubs, etc. I don't think comp's going to be 64, but there's going to be ladders stretching across the entirety of this wall. You know what I mean? So people have to defend. So like, maybe the defenders will lose the left wall, but it gives you, like, I'm happy that they have this attacking animation, just because it gives you so much more versatility as a aggressor.
Absolutely.
I mean, besides having to just rely on the fact that we can see that you can get these sexy, like, here come the defenders, here come the boys in blue, bam. Like, instead of having to only rely on that,
exactly.
You can actually do something.
Ooh, nice. But yeah, I think sieges are going to be a whole lot of fun. And then we have this little montage. Oh boy, the sword throw. So yeah, we talked a lot about that in our hour discussion. If you want to give a summary of your thoughts on that, just in a couple sentences.
Oh God,
throwing weapons.
essentially the throwing weapons, I'm perfectly okay with them being in the game because you should obviously have the opportunity to do so, but I think it should be a very last second, like a last ditch effort to defend yourself or to down an enemy that's fleeing from you. I don't think it should be a valid strategy in terms of I just fucking chop the dude's head off, because the thing is, this guy with the I believe he's using a spear. This guy with the spear, he was not really posing a threat to the guy with our who we're seeing the perspective POV, from. Yeah. All of a sudden he just threw it because it was faster and it killed him. You know, like, I mean, they obviously are probably boosting the damage because it's a trailer and they want it to be epic and they want it to be like, oh, look how fast and bloody and gory this is. But like, I'm just hoping that it doesn't turn into that where it's just like everybody's chucking their weapons around, because it's just, I don't want it to be dodgeball, man.
Here's the thing. Weapons can be blocked easily.
Yeah, fair enough. Same with arrows. Correct.
Yeah, if you make the gamble and you fail, you're down a weapon, right?
Speaking of
this is your area of expertise, man.
Speaking of arrows, so very, very disappointed that this is the only clip that I get in terms to show archery, and this lets me know that the devs have not really put any work into archery. And the number one example of this is so it should be on your screen. He's just holding the arrow right now, and the bow
pull it back another second.
Okay, so what I want you guys to pay attention to, this is just the man charging in. What I want you to pay attention to is that the bowstring doesn't move, yet the arrow launches. It lets me know that they haven't put any work on the animations, nor do they want it, nor do they have it, figured out how far they want the arrows to be able to go, etc.
If I may, because obviously,
so yeah, he did pull back the bow, but like, look how far he pulls it back, right? And then look how far this arrow goes.
Yeah, we'll pay close attention to the drop.
It's like, well, bam, it's right there. So it hits the guy in the head, which is, good for you. You got a shot off or whatever. But at the same time, this lets me know, like, this to me looks really sloppy. It looks like this isn't fleshed out.
Right.
Yeah, this doesn't look fleshed out to me.
I would say in defense of Triterion on the devs of this game, holy shit, but that jab though. In defense of the devs, I would say I feel like first and foremost they're trying to develop for the melee because that is going to be the centerpiece of the game. However, things like archery are going to be so difficult for them to build in a vacuum because archery is something that is going to need a crap load of trial and error.
For sure. They need people to play test the archery because you don't want it to be this OP thing. But the reason that, like, I really hope that they don't skim over the archery, and hopefully they don't, is the fact that without archers in comp play and other things, it's literally just blocks of health smacking each other.
Yeah.
And then there's nothing else. That's that's all it is, which the sword play in this game, don't get me wrong, it's a lot sexier to watch than Shiv, but I don't want to only look at giant solid blocks of health hitting each other.
Yeah.
There needs to be that, that moment where some dude's going to, overhead one of the people, but then he gets sniped in the face. Like, there has to be that. You know what I mean?
It's kind of, this is a bad analogy, but I'm going to make it anyway. It's kind of like how the role the op plays in CSGO, where you can get one-shot kills with the AK. You can get really quick kills with any other weapon. This is basically a kill montage. I don't really care to talk about it, but the op is this weapon that once someone has it, the other team knows they need to deal with it. It is a variable on the battlefield. Yeah. So just like an archer should be, just like a ranged player should be. So
that's the thing. That's the thing. An archer should be one of those things that you introduce into the battle. That's like everybody, So your archer calls out, "Hey, there are archers on the wall. He's going to start shooting at you guys. Everybody, be aware of that." Because it should be a threat that you need to sort of deal with, and then maybe have somebody actually go off and specifically deal with that threat. But I mean, they don't need to be OP like they were in Chivalry, simply because they just need to have worse melee. That's it. If you just give them worse melee, then I think they're balanced.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how that pans out, I suppose. We have no idea how any of the balancing is going to play out whatsoever. We just know sort of features. And speaking of features, here comes the most orgasmic feature for me in terms of, like, reveals from the Kickstarter. Go ahead and play
interesting,
it.
Interesting thought on
Tell what you
on
found.
this.
Tell what you found.
Yeah. So essentially, I had made a comment in the previous video that we made about how I was hoping that horses would just, they wouldn't be like an achievement, like, when you get a kill streak on COD, you get dogs and radar and stuff. I was really hoping that it wasn't going to be that, which somebody let me know. It was Omega, I believe. So yes. Thank you, Omega.
He's got pretty
he let me know that he was speaking to the devs, and he was also digging through the forums, etc. And he found that the devs have talked about that horses are going to spawn either somewhere center of map or at the spawns of the teams with random armor sets, and there will be lances as pickups nearby. So if you want to use a lance, you can pick up the lance and then use it on the horse. Yeah. So they have thought about this, and it's going to just be an element of the map, sort of like how there will be catapults and stuff. Yeah. So that probably means that there are going to be certain maps where, maybe the defenders have cavalry as where the attackers don't, etc., which will be kind of cool.
That's
because
smart.
Then, that makes spears and archers more useful in that sort of a situation, because swordsmen aren't really going to have much of a way to defend themselves against these things, unless we do see that the sword throwing is as overpowered as it seems like it's going to be.
I doubt it. I mean, we'll see, of course. Again, so much of this disgusting joust there. I love that.
Go back to the horses.
Yeah, go ahead, because that jousting bit, so short, and yet at the same time, like, that's going to produce so many epic moments where you're like, am I going to do it? Am I going to do it? And like, you might end up playing chicken with the other horsemen, which is so cool to think about.
So here's an interesting thing to think about. So right here, we see that he's got a shield on his back, right? Both of these people have shields on their back, or at least our protagonist does.
Yeah.
And the thing is that what that means is you can see that the other rider has the reins in his hand. That leads me to believe that horse archery won't be in the game. Because it seems like they're making the characters steer with one hand. So I bet you there's only going to be like one-handed weapons usable, and I don't think shields will be usable on horses either.
Yeah. I think that if they measure that, if they make sure, if through trial and error and through just checks and balances, they find that is the way to balance horses so that they are the dominators on the battlefield, but at the same time they can be brought down. Because if every person on a horse can have a crossbow or can have a long blade and shield, they'll be invincible.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's true. But the thing is that a crossbow, first of all, wouldn't be viable at all because you need your foot typically to help reload the crossbow.
A bow,
so you would have a shot. Yeah. A bow, I think you could do horse archery.
I mean, it's realistic.
It would just be really hard, which I would be okay with. I mean, like, I know it would be kind of obnoxious for some people, but I would straight up be okay with somebody that was really good with a horse and really good with a bow running around murking people on a team. Because, like, the amount of skill that would take if they make the archery, skill gap pretty high, which once again, guys, there's no crosshairs. So it's going to be harder to do. I think that's worth him roasting you. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be mad if some dude comes up, unless it's straight up like, really easy to do. If it's difficult, there should be no complaining of somebody running by with a horse, like, just drive-bying you.
Like I did not, despite the fact that it was still kind of difficult, I did not appreciate the ranged combat on horseback in Warband as much as I should have. So many people are so good at it because, and I say so good at it, it's not an easy thing to learn, but the problem is they don't take into account any of the horse's momentum.
Yep.
So if that is a thing that is included in this game, if you have to master that to master horse archery, I'm perfectly fine with it, like Frosty said.
Yeah, I'd be okay with it as well, totally. Yeah. Bam. I like how that guy didn't even aim.
Oh, God. Yeah, he's just off to the side. And then this bit of horse combat, I think that's super cool. I love the fact that you can defend. All the same melee mechanics function while you're on horseback. It's so cool.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how much health eventually, like we see how this horse right here actually has armor, as where if we go back to the other horse there is no armor. So once again that proves the thing of there's going to be horses with different armor sets spawning, etc., which I'm assuming will affect the speed of the horse. But in terms of you actually going toe to toe with, like, that guy's got a Morning Star, going toe to toe with some melee people with a Morning Star, if your horse isn't heavily armored, why not just kill the horse?
Yeah, Yeah, exactly.
So that's going to open up some stuff, because I'm really happy to see that once again there are no shields being used on these horses. They might implement it later, but I think that's going to balance it.
Yeah. As I said before, whatever they feel makes sense, and the alpha and beta will obviously make that work.
Yeah, of course.
So you've got this cool little bit, and then this fun little duel, which
that shows right there the he does this little, he points at him and does the whole slice across the neck thing.
Yeah,
that potentially shows that they're going to have a wide range of emotes that you can use, and that will be hopefully accompanied by good voice acting as well.
Yeah,
because that's the one thing I'm going to miss about Chivalry is the Mason Man at Arms.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. From what I can tell, at least in my interview, correct me if I'm wrong, those of you who have watched the whole interview recently, because got a nice Mordhau grip there, who have watched the interview, I'm pretty sure Merox has said that they are looking into customizable voice packs. Because there are no classes in the game, they're going to have it so you can set a voice pack for a given loadout, is what I can tell thus far. And in my conversation with Merox, it seems that they're going to get a large breadth of voice actors. I don't know how many packs they're going to have. I don't know whether they're going... I don't think... you guys heard us talking about in our discussion that I was okay with a sort of quote-unquote microtransaction store. I don't consider it microtransactions when it's a game giving additional content. I think that's just really smart DLC. I think if they put all their effort into the base game up until release, and then they charge for anything they give out after, I think that is the perfect way to do it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Also, speaking on voices, that moment when can you imagine if there was like a Tripper Frosty voice pack? As, just like make your Archer be like, oh god.
Well, I'm not gonna give any make any promises, but I'll just say that Merox, I'm on Merox's shortlist for voice lines, so maybe there's a possibility you'll get to hear
a few like faces, a few known people getting their voices in. Because if there's supposed to be a wide range, why the hell not have why not have your YouTuber voice pack?
Like when you say hello, it's like, hello everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I would absolutely love to do that. Also, notice something in this fight. Scroll back to the start of the fight, because there is something very interesting that I think is kind of falling under the radar here, that I think I mentioned in my the first dev blog commentary I did, and you can play it.
Okay.
So what you'll see is the guy with the Viking axe looking the direction he's blocking. Okay?
Yep.
Now, to compare to Shiv, that was something sort of kind of in Shiv. If the other person really tried, but in this game, the attacker does not have the onus of having to direct their strikes. It's up to the defender to defend themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, and also, that adds a really cool point. That guy, scroll it back a little bit just to show the size of the weapon that guy was using.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's using a very tiny weapon to defend a sword of war, it looks
exactly.
like.
And it works perfectly, because the guy with the tiny weapon is stuck in this enclosed space of engagement. And play it for a couple seconds, and you'll see it probably. Yeah, so he's attacking. He can only attack when he's super up close.
Yep.
And you can see the Sword of War is attacking at a decent distance.
Yeah.
And if you keep playing, just another second or two when he blocks again, you'll see he gets caught in this pattern of blocking at really close range.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so nice. So tight.
Well, that's the thing. I'm actually okay with it, because we were talking before about small weapons being able to parry. I'm okay with a weapon like this being able to parry a sword, simply because it's wood. And, like, I also think a short sword that has a nice handguard on it, you'd be able to parry with quite easily with as well. But I'm talking about, like, those little daggers and just whatever. Like, I don't want to see a dagger being able to defend against this.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care who you are. I mean, maybe I'm completely ignorant in terms of like historical whatever that actually happened, but I just like how are you going to parry a big sword with this tiny little thing? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But there were people arguing in comments that was something that you could do, and I'm like,
well,
why?
I'm going to tell you right now. I don't consider myself an experienced or even a someone with basic literacy in ancient combat styles, but I know with my limited literacy that a dagger was only used in supplementation of a weapon as a guarding instrument. But it wasn't actually used to catch the blade. It was used to swing the blade off of yours whenever you met, to my knowledge. So
yeah. You could use, if you were dueling or something, you could have like your sword or your rapier or whatever in one hand, and then a parrying dagger in the other. But that's for a rapier. That's not for like a giant mace that has, you know, like try and parry that. It's just, you know, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Like, I would be of the mind that, again, it'll come down to balancing for this. What I say might make no sense in terms of gameplay. Again, realism does not equal good, balanced gameplay. But in the gameplay, what I think would make sense, at least, from a standpoint of being a viewer, is that if a long-bladed guy, a guy comes at a guy with a messer, the other guy has a dagger, the messer should hit the dagger perhaps once, and the dagger flies away. Yes. Perhaps once. I think that would be very sensible. The thing is, I think, in terms of balance, that might not fly because the dagger's range is going to be so bad, but I don't know. Again, we have no idea.
It'd be nice to see, like, for dagger implementation, I think it'd be really nice to see, you know, because, for instance, this guy's about to throw his sword right now, right? Throws his sword, turns around, there's an enemy behind him, he pulls out a dagger and tries to stab at him. Like, I think that's where a dagger would be useful. It's like you're strapped for weapons, you got nothing else, pull out your little thing that weighs 1 pound on your guy.
Nothing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's it should be a side weapon. That's exactly what it is. I think it would be the perfect archer weapon, because you could get to places quickly, because it's not a very heavy weapon.
Yep.
And you would also have a side weapon to use. And the dagger is perfect for throwing. I'm sure that could do some very good, precise damage, but at the same time, probably wouldn't be able to pierce armor for crap.
Yeah, exactly. Be able to kill one of those shirtless dudes that gets his head cut off in the first one. But,
or even chainmail.
Or another archer.
Or another archer,
or chainmail, exactly.
Yeah, in before the perfect archery weapon is a thrown dagger.
Excuse me.
So yeah, I think we've milked this trailer for most of its goodness.
For most of it, I mean, there was one moment that I noticed back. Back at the fight. Where's the 3-person fight? It's coming up, right?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, you mean the 4-person fight?
Get roasted.
3v1. Here it is.
Yeah, this guy. So you'll notice here, typically in Chivalry, so right here, the guy with the spear is going to get a nice stab in after our protagonist parries the sword. So there doesn't seem to be like a double parrying, which I always found really obnoxious in Chivalry. Like, I'm like, how am I double parrying a weapon? Like, unless they both striked at the same time and they hit my blade, I guess so. But yeah, me being able to like parry a sword while my sword's fully down, parrying like a maul. Because look at he parries one and then
takes damage from the other
by the spear.
Something to add to that also is that to do with your complaint is as soon as he attacks the first guy, as soon as he blocks the first guy, if he initiates an attack on the second guy, I don't know how chambering is going to work with weapons like spears versus weapons like swords. I'm not sure if that's going to work at all. However, a really cool way that experienced player could get past that is that if he tries to chamber the spear immediately after, but it would be so difficult to do in practice.
Yeah.
But again, that's the thing. In Shiv, you are there are 3 tiers almost. The first tier is the majority of players. They live on green servers. They LMB for life. No offense to anyone who lives on.
That's you and me. It's great.
That's what we do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But there's them. There's the majority of comp, like 95% of comp players who, you know, they feint a bit here and there, but they mostly reverse and excel and just pull all this janky stuff that looks disgusting on camera, but it's the way you play the game in comp levels. And then there is the third tier, which is just God tier, who are above and beyond everyone, who have the timings of the weapons down to a T. They know how to feint to just the right amount or just the right number of feints to get you. And I feel like this game is going to delete that middle sector and is going to far expand that God tier so that it's a spectrum rather than just this tiny percentage.
I mean, it's also like, I feel like this game once again is going to promote more team play because first of all, like, look at how close this spearman and the swordsman are while they're fighting. The spearman can come in perfectly and support the swordsman, even though the swordsman's swinging pretty violently around his teammate and he's not hitting them. Like, none of these guys are hitting each other.
That's really cool, actually. Oh, I think, rewind it a little bit. I think there may have been a team hit.
The guy in the back, I don't think actually hits his buddy. I think he
stops. Let's see. Yeah.
Because I noticed that as well.
It'll come up.
Look at it's like, bam. Oh, he did. He hit his buddy right on the shoulder.
Maybe. I don't know. Pull it back a tiny bit.
He does. He clinks him right in the right shoulder. Look at this. So he's going to come up, and then he's going to go, bam. See it? It clinks.
We're now just nitpicking stuff, but this is good.
See him? He hits him right here.
Pull it back. Did you play it?
I'm at 58 seconds.
Oh, I didn't. It's not playing for me.
Yeah, are you at 58 seconds?
Play it. Nothing is playing for me. Oh, it's playing for me. Pull it back a few more seconds. It started playing. The joys of synced YouTube.
So he hit his buddy there.
Do it again. I think you're about a second ahead of me. Click play. I don't know.
He hits him. There's a spark that flies out of his shoulder.
Okay.
Look at it. Look at the guy's right shoulder. There's a spark that goes up, and it looks like he hits him in the right shoulder and the back of his head. Luckily, he has a big helmet on.
Yeah, let's.
But see, the thing is, what it was is that the reason I don't think he did damage is it looked like he went for a stab and tried to drag the blade into him, so it just ended up smacking his buddy rather than penetrating.
That's
what it looks like.
Cool.
That's what it looks like to me. I don't think it would have done damage.
I don't know. This is just
that's straight up a stab that smacks his buddy right in the back.
If this is the implementation they have, amazing. If not, I'd love to see what they actually do have. But an implementation where this might have been what's in the video, but I obviously didn't see it. Where when you hit an enemy, it just clinks off their armor, because you would pull this in real life. You would pull the strike as soon as you realize it's going to hit an ally. So a system like that would be so cool.
That would be so nice.
Because LMB team damage does not exist. Holy crap! Rewind to the first engagement. There has to be a team hit there. If there isn't, then I think my hunch might be right.
Well, we'll see. We'll see, because the thing is, the majority of the people that we're actually looking at attack are the red team, and they're more spread out. The blue team's in this nice little blob, and I don't really think many of them swing.
That's a good point.
Not from what I could tell.
That's a good point. I guess we'll see.
Because there's a wide spread here. So, hold on. So, the red guy that's swinging here, right? Look how far his sword goes back. He could potentially hit that guy behind him if he was a little bit closer.
Yeah. We're going to get an overhead view of the battle in about a second, I think, though.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, dude, I don't think, it's so weird. I don't think I saw any team damage, but again, we'd have to take that apart.
I mean, I've watched the fight. I've watched the fight a bunch of times.
I saw it.
I've seen, like...
I saw an instance. So pause it right there. You're going to see, so almost the very top left, the top slightly left of center, we've got a guy with a Viking helmet on.
So Red's the perpetrator of the team hit?
Yeah, at least this one. There's probably another one somewhere. Play the video quickly, and we're going to see the guy behind him, I think, poke him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He got flinched. No blood came out, though. I think that might be what they're doing. He got flinched, but it doesn't deal damage. If that is what they do, by the gods, I will love them forever.
Well, see, look he doesn't stab his buddy once again. He straight up just
stabs right
touches
into
him with the blade.
He goes right through him, though. His blade clips through him practically.
Oh no.
That might be why it doesn't deal any damage, actually, because it's so close. Yeah, I don't know. I think that was just a flinch, not damage. Again, this is all stuff that will be immediately obvious when we play the game for real.
Oh yeah, exactly.
We're spending 10 minutes hypothesizing, then we get into the game 20 seconds later, we're like, oh, this is the thing.
Let's go to the
very
end of the video.
Yeah.
So just by the way, guys, Dabs have talked about so fucking ending him rightly. I was so scared about ending him rightly, and the thing is, everybody thought that I was, actually, like, legitimately, though, concerned that I was like, pommels are going to be super OP and pommels are going to be whatever. I was using that as an example.
But then we got people coming in saying, like, it should deal 25 damage.
Yeah, it should deal 25 damage, bro.
And guys,
do whatever. Like, straight up, the devs have said it's going to do 1 damage.
Yeah, I think I would love, there are mods. I would love a mod where it's insta-kill, the pommel. But that should not be in base game. I think base game 1 damage pommel where you're like, he should be dead, and he starts running away and you just chuck the pommel. I think that's perfect. As just a
That's
fuck
the instance
you.
where you throw your sword, dude. Also, why did that guy lose his sword there?
That is what happens.
And why does he have a loot on his belt?
It's a weapon. The loot is a weapon.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So, Frosty, this is something that I know because I played the Slasher prototype, and it's a holdover. Also, it's something that showed in their dev blog. Once you run out of stam, you don't get stunned, you lose your weapon.
Oh my god,
it goes flying. Yep, it's awesome. And look at the... Move back a couple more seconds. Move back to sort of the middle of that fight. I think you'll notice that the direction of the guy's attack to the enemy's blade determines where the weapon goes. So I think if he were to attack downward, the blade would just smack to the ground. But like this, he attacks from the left and it flings to the right. That's so cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just that little thing.
That'll be interesting because if you know how like you can win duels on Chivalry based on you know that they're out of stam, so you're just like, okay, I'm gonna be able to punish in like an attack.
Yeah.
What if you like got the timing down to be like, yep, he'll be out of stamina, and I'm gonna fling his weapon to the left.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So
like you see him moving to the right.
Strategy of getting it as far away from them as possible.
I think that's so cool. And
definitely will add a good mechanic.
Yeah, and that's right about the end of the video.
Oh, yeah.
And my God, we've talked about this for almost about 36 minutes and counting.
Oh, Jesus.
But oh gosh, this is so much fun to just take apart and just talk about.
Hold on, I'm just gonna keep replaying him.
Keep replaying the ending him rightly bit. It's so satisfying.
Get fucking right lead, boy.
So satisfying. Dink.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you've got nothing else to say, get fucking roasted.
Do you have any closing remarks, Frosty?
I'm excited. I'm excited for the game.
So excited.
Fucking Frosty and Ripper voice packets. 2018 or whenever this game's coming up. Devs, please.
Devs, please make it happen.
Or at least just post something being like absolutely not, but in the exaggerated chivalry way. Absolutely not.
Yeah, like I will make a video about the conversation between me and Merox that follows, like, hey, Merox, you got any information on my ability to, make a voice back? And he's like, oh, yeah, I do. And he links me, and I'm, oh, what's this link? And I click it, and I get the Shiv voice line. No.
Oh, God.
And then he sends me another one, sorry!
I mean, yeah, well, I mean, see, what I would do is I would then just, send them back that I'll tickle your catastrophe.
I mean, I've told them I'd blow them for copies of the game, dude.
Oh, nice.
Thankfully, I only have to drop $25, and I'm dropping 10 times that almost, so go figure.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
High roller, man.
High roller, yeah. So, this has been a video. Dear God, that catapult's so great. Oh! One thing I want to talk about, actually, that I forgot. Rewind just before the catapult fires a couple seconds, and you'll notice something interesting.
Artillery?
This is fine, this bit. Yes, movable artillery. This is an innovation, folks. This is how you can tell that sieges will be so dynamic.
There's going to be old farts, though, being like, no, man, it was in AOC. Yeah. It's not revolutionary. It's in AOC first. Like,
indeed.
Well, it's back.
Indeed, Robot Frosty. Indeed. This is Robot Frosty, folks. He has taken over for Human Frosty.
Oh, Jesus.
He's doing great. No, yeah, I think on that note, I think we'll call it a night. Call it a vid. Thanks, guys, for watching all the way to the end. If you have not seen this video in normal time, I should have mentioned this at the start. It's in the description. Kickstarter's in the description. The green light is in the description. The website is in the description. Everything's in the... Just go in the description and click things, folks. It'll help everyone involved. I'm excited. We're excited. Thank you for watching. As always, have a grand day.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, Robot Frosty. Don't take over the